how you can do it as well. That's one of the main questions that we get asked, or people will say, from back in the States, oh, I wish that, I could do that. And it's easy. You can do it. It's not as hard as it seems.
The lady said, if you can get everything in the next 48 hours, you're accepted. What's up, expats and travelers alike? This is Josh with Expats Everywhere.
And I'm Kalie.
And today we're here to tell you the story of how we got started as expats. The story starts about 10 years ago.
We had met, and I was a senior in college, and Josh wanted to go abroad, but I convinced him to wait until I finished college and I would go with him. So we started looking for jobs. Josh was going into teaching, and I had zero interest in teaching at the time, but I had been a nanny before, so I thought being an au pair would be a good job to look for because we were looking into Europe. So initially, Josh was set for Greece. I found a job in Switzerland. We thought, close enough, because even though we were dating, we were doing the long distance thing anyway.
Yeah, we were in 2 different states. So it's like in Europe, 2 different countries is like 2 different states in the U.S. Right?
Close enough. But there was a change of events.
Yeah, so I was planning on going to Greece with a friend of mine. We were going to do a program in Greece. And actually, we started to see some problems with the program in Greece, the ESL program. And there was a lot of negative feedback that we were reading online. I kind of was getting a bit cold feet towards Greece and started looking elsewhere. And that's when I decided to take a look at a TEFL program in Barcelona.
So I was set with a job in Switzerland, and as he was looking in Barcelona, we were like, okay, that's not that big of a difference anyway. But then the family where I was going to in Switzerland, the lady lost her job and decided instead of looking for another job, I'll just stay at home with the kids. So that meant they didn't need an au pair. So then I had to get back looking, and I used greataupair.com, which was really good. 10 years ago, I guess even longer now. It's actually about 12 years ago that I used it. It was good. So I would recommend it off of that. So I get back on and I found a job in Madrid. So perfect. At least we're in the same country. Yeah. I got that job in Madrid. Josh was looking into Barcelona, but...
Well, Madrid and Barcelona are like 4.5 hours apart. Right?
Yeah, it's
something
pretty
like
far
that by train.
On train,
yeah. Flying is not so bad, but you do have to consider the commute time to get to the airport, and then the Barcelona airport, for example, is outside of the city, so then it takes a bit more time then to get into the city center. What happened was, Kalie's host family said, hey, you guys are too far. You're going to be too far apart. This isn't good. You need to be closer. He needs to be in Madrid, and that's when they started looking for me. They started looking for ways that I could be in Madrid. And she found a university program at the University of Alcalá, Universidad de Alcalá. And this program is still in existence. It's thriving as far as I know. It is the Instituto Franklin. I'll put the links in the description below. Highly recommend it. I had a great experience there. Anyways, so this program actually had already passed its deadline for the application process by just like a couple of days when it got introduced to me. I'm a chancer, so I decided to just go ahead and email them and send my application in. And the lady said, if you can get everything in the next 48 hours, you're accepted. So it was a mad dash, right? It was a mad dash, guys. Never been that motivated in my life to get something done. 10 years ago, I was a super procrastinator. That's why Expats Everywhere didn't exist. But yeah, I got everything in, and it was within that 48-hour window, and I got accepted. Now, that wasn't the only paperwork that had to be done, but that was the initial paperwork, and then there was some more stuff to do.
So then we were both set to go to Madrid. We started planning. We did about a 3-week tour, just traveling before hitting Spain. So we flew into Dublin, I think was first. But at this point, I had traveled abroad with my family. My family traveled a lot. Josh had done a little bit with different trips, but we had never done it, really planned ourselves. So it was the first time we were going abroad, traveling and moving ourselves, and we were beginners.
Oh, we were super rookies. Now, we do have to preface things and say, as you guys probably know, this was in an age before smartphones. And really it was in an age before, things like FaceTime and Skype was in its infancy, that I remember anyways. It was in its infancy. It wasn't great. in terms of connectivity with loved ones. So, we were just going out there on a limb. We hadn't actually been in a relationship too super long at that point.
Right.
But we were just, going and being travelers together. We ended up flying from the U.S. to Dublin, met up with an old friend of ours, and yeah, that kind of got us started on our big backpacking journey.
So we had all of our stuff too with us because we were moving. So what we'll do is that's just a little snippet of how we got started going to our first location, which was living in Spain. But we have fun travel things to talk to you about on that first go around, and obviously we've grown a lot since that was 11 years ago that we actually moved. So we've grown a lot, we've learned a lot as expats and travelers, and we want to share that with you. But we just want to open up and let you know a little bit about ourselves and just kind of how we got started and our ups and downs with the whole thing. And really how you can do it as well. That's one of the main questions that we get asked, or people will say, from back in the States, oh, I wish that, I could do that. And it's easy. You can do it. It's not as hard as it seems. You just have to take that leap. And that's pretty much what we did. And we fumbled through it at first.
Just like we're fumbling through this video.
But we made it.
Really.
But we made it. And, it gets better with time.
Absolutely. So here's some bonus coverage. This is the bonus coverage that you guys waited for. As you know, it might be a bit difficult for Americans to get to Europe with visas and whatnot. So you're probably wondering, how did these two super inexperienced expats or super inexperienced newbies, beginners, I don't know what you would call us, how did you get visas to live in Spain or Europe? Well, we got to be honest. My visa situation was through the university, and that's a really, really common way that Americans can get visas. A lot of international programs or even domestic programs in Europe will sponsor visas for international students, Americans included. My program in particular was targeting American students. Now, I think we had maybe 2 or 3 other nationalities represented, and a lot of the Americans were bilingual. So you had Americans of Mexican heritage or some other Spanish-speaking nationality that they represented, but American nonetheless, American passport. So it's not a prerequisite to speak Spanish. You don't have to pass some sort of test to get the visa there. But the university applies for all that visa stuff. You just have to send in certain documentation. And the visa lasts more or less as long as the program lasts. So it's like a 1-year visa. Now, if you do a program that's longer, then your visa is going to be for that length.
Now, for au pairs, there are specific au pair visas for certain countries. So you'll have to take a look into that to see what country you're interested in, if they offer something. And generally, they are short-term as well. They're not very long, and they have specific parameters for age and what you'll be doing.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it, especially staying tuned to this bonus coverage. If you like this type of stuff, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get updated on everything in the world of expats everywhere, but especially these videos that we do where we just get real with you guys and let you guys know how we got started in hopes that it'll help you get started. Take care.
Bye.